All right. So just to kick things off, this is Andrew. Andrew's just gone through our RCW. I'm Chris. I'm the senior growth strategist. I'm here with Mark as well. Mark's our director and CEO. Now today is really just all about getting a bit of an idea. I think Mark, you got a few questions for.
Yeah. So we chatted just before, Andrew. But why don't you tell one of the big challenges that we have when we're trying to articulate the value of doing a rapid concept workshop to clients is often they think that they have everything ready. Maybe they've done a scope before, they've done some wireframes, they've done a lot of product planning, and you'd been in that situation too. How do you think that you feel after having gone through 3 days with us versus how you were before that?
Okay, so obviously I had done a fair bit of wireframing and product development stuff on my own, and I had thought that I'd covered as many bases as I could have done.
Yeah.
Having come to the workshop, it's made very clear that you can always improve on what you've got, and there's always things you haven't thought of, which made it very valuable for me personally because it built on what I'd already done.
You already had a base, and it was just about adding the product strategy on top of that.
Yeah.
And how did you find the facilitators? Because you worked with a whole range of people. You worked with Ben, you worked with Neville, you spoke to Vince, you spoke to a bunch of different people. What was the input like from the team onto what you'd already done?
It was very good to start with. You've obviously hired a range of people with a range of different backgrounds and abilities, and also obviously with that comes a lot of they bring different things to the table,
different skills,
different ideas, different skills, different opinions, viewpoints and stuff, and it's very good to have that multidisciplinary view on the project, I suppose.
100%.
Which is very valuable, and coming from someone who sees the project, one person sees the project the way they see it, but their tunnel vision, having someone else shine light.
You've got this reality distortion field around your project, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when we first originally spoke, is that you were a little bit, should I go through this process or not? When you did it now, your thoughts on that have changed quite
definitely. I'd say to anyone who's considering doing a workshop, if you're actually serious about your idea, definitely do the workshop, because no matter how many bases you think you covered, how complex or all-encompassing you've done your homework, there's always value you can derive from it. And I guess if you liken building an app to, I don't know, I'll use this analogy with you in an email, cutting down a tree.
Yep.
You can either start with your saw, it might be blunt, start hacking away for 10 hours and maybe cut down the tree, maybe not. Or you can do the workshop, sharpen the saw for an hour, and cut the tree down in 10 minutes.
There you go. We're selling access.
So I think it essentially sharpens the saw, and
it does.
We can get through the process of it.
And I mean, I think that's the advantage, that if you get your product strategy down initially, if you validate the idea, if you go through the technical risks and clarify all those, you're in a much better place to proceed to development over having done a huge amount of requirements up front. In terms of the final question I have for you is, what was for you the best part of the workshop? Okay,
so in the last 2 days, we've been doing essentially breaking down the app into its nitty-gritty, going over all what they call user stories, storyboarding. So you identify each situation that the app would be used in, what tasks would be for what, and then you design the UI around that and what feature sets you need, and what feature sets you maybe don't need until later versions. So I think that interactive process of really breaking down the idea into its constituent parts was the most useful.
Getting the product strategy down, getting the execution stuff, but then really going very granular as well.
Yes.
Digging very deep. Okay,
absolutely.
Gotcha. Well, it's been great having you. Thanks for coming down. And excited to work on the project.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Cheers.
That's it.
Thank you very much.